Hello, Ray Phoenix here, and this is Philosoma on the PS1. This is a shooter game, pretty much, that came out in, well, it's kind of odd when this game came out. Some sources say this game came out in July of 1995, and other sources say this game came out in January 1996. The box says 95, the game says 95, I don't know really who to trust. There's a lot of things like that a lot of times. So this is the story of the game, pretty much.
But that was not all. The horror I saw was only a prelude to what was to happen later.
Cinematics are really good for the mid-90s.
The leader of UNF.
Most of this game's cutscenes like this.
BFA 29.
But at least they had the effort of animating them, putting them to CGI animation. Unlike the people who made Rebel Assault 2.
Somebody respond, please. This is Planet 220.
This game very well is meant to be a movie, I think.
220, report the situation.
I'm calling in for help. Please come.
Colonel Kinabalu, the transmission has gone dead.
Lieutenant Commander, proceed to 220 at once. Full speed.
Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Commander Cox, red alert.
Yes, sir. Strike, prepare for launch sequence. Launch all remaining.
Yeah, this whole cliche stuff. And there's some kind of thing going on. So yeah, this thing we're fighting this game, it's this villain, well, not really villain, it's more like some sort of parasite called Philosoma. It takes over the people of the world and things like that. It makes them fight against you. Makes your own guys turn against you, pretty much. Police are going to be going against you. Government officials are going against you. The FBI is going to go against you. The CIA is going against you. The SWAT team is going against you. The FCC is going against you. The Repo Man's coming after you. Pretty much everything you can think of is going to be coming after you in this game. It's like you versus the world, or these people in Alpha Flight, or whatever it is they're called, or Doggy Flight, or whatever they call themselves, or pretty much them versus the world, in this oversized intro. Yeah, that's pretty much what most of the game is. A lot of the game is actually just watching these cutscenes. Sure, they look really nice and beautiful for 1995 or whenever this game came out, but for real, and this is, I mean, this doesn't really make up for, I don't know what to say, but I mean, this doesn't really make up for, I think this game is very short. This game only has 4 levels out there. This game only has 4 levels. Those aren't all that long, and most of the game's just cutscenes. At least this game's on one disc, unlike Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. That's why I got to compare the games a lot together when I was playing my Star Wars, when I made my Star Wars Rebel Assault 2 LP last week. So we're all ready to go. You see here, it's still pretty boring. You might want to bring a pillow and some snacks maybe while watching this, because this could go on for some time. You might want to skip to the 5-minute mark of this video if you guys want to see the game itself. I'm starting to think this might have been a movie that got turned into a game last minute. Someone thought, hey, let's make a PlayStation game out of this movie.
Alice, change course.
I think that's what happened. Looking at my watch. Yeah, it's been like 3.5 minutes now. We're still not in the actual game yet. We're still looking at these cutscenes. These flashy cutscenes look like they're in a Michael Bay movie or something. I don't think Michael Bay had anything to do with the development of this game. This isn't even story, it's just showing them re-enter the frickin' atmosphere. Are they gonna get destroyed like the Space Shuttle Columbia? Come on, what's gonna happen? They're heading down towards some fruity planet where we're gonna have to... I have to admit, the details in this game look really good. The texturing looks really good. It's showing the different levels of the game that we're gonna go through. It's like a map. They're attempting to make like a mapping system, like in Super Mario World, the original Rayman, or Super Mario Land 2, the 6 golden coins games on the Game Boy. Oh look, we're flying through some canyon now, or some sort of blue desert like place. I wonder if there are any blue deserts in real life, and the deserts turn blue in real life. I don't know if Eiffel 65 had anything to do with that. So here it is. We're finally at Phase 1. The green kind of looks like the Star Trek Nemesis logo to Star Trek Nemesis poster. And now we're finally in game. So what's coming up next on Ray Phoenix's channel? Another bad LP that no one will see. Okay, maybe some people will see it, but That's not an awful lot of people. I mean, more than 99% of YouTube doesn't know I exist, so... I mean, it's better that way sometimes. It's better to be a nobody, a good nobody, than to be an infamous somebody. You know, like that Chris Chan guy I watch all the time, or like some of those other freaks I've come across on YouTube, like my arch rival Tammy Newborn. This game was supposedly made in the same year Tammy Newborn was supposedly born in 1995. I wonder if there's a relation between those two things. So you see, this game, it looks like a vertical shooter right now, but it's going to change soon. This game keeps changing and mixing up, which I have to give them credit for that. Despite what I was saying earlier, this actually is a pretty good game. I actually do recommend this game if you could find a ROM of it for free, or if you could find it for a cheap price. I actually have it in a long box, actually, because this game is an earlier PS1 game, so it comes in a long box. And I also believe this game was made by a lot of the same people that made Jumping Flash, which you know how much I adore Jumping Flash. Jumping Flash is like the pinnacle of what early PlayStation should be. It's a pinnacle of what any great game should be. It's fun, it's enjoyable. So is this game. I just wish this game had more, that's all. But no, they blew up most of the disk space just by putting in all those cutscenes. But at least the only good part is that it's all on one disc, unlike Star Wars Rebel Assault 2. Yeah, I said that again, yeah, because Rebel Assault 2, you know how much I like that game. But it's still... I still don't think it should have been on 2 discs, but I already talked about that last week. So here it is, I picked up a power-up. You see here, they use the POW things, just like in Capcom's 1940 games, if you remember Capcom's 1940 games. And then there's I can't move, dang it. So let's get into a cutscene now, in case we move around. Ooh, I love that texture. I love that swirly texture. It looks like something I expect to see on Uranus or Neptune or some planet like that. I got hit. And you have shields in this game, too. So it's not like one shot and you get killed, like in a lot of other games. This game's also kind of like Xevious for EDG and Star Soldier Vanishing Earth. I already did an LP of Star Soldier Vanishing Earth on the N64, and what else? They already did an LP of that, and this game's also kind of like, so there's this Capcom 1940 game, Star Soldier, Xevious, yeah. And it's also a bit like Star Fox 2 and Thunder Force 2. Thunder Force 2, in which the game changes perspective constantly. Yeah, we're going to see some perspective changes in this game, just like we did in Thunder Force 2, which it must not have worked as well for the Thunder Force games, because I never played the original Thunder Force before. I have no idea what the original Thunder Force is. I only know about Thunder Force 2 and the sequels, and, I mean, Thunder Force 2, the game constantly switched perspective, but in Thunder Force 3 and later, they just kept it with, you know, what do you call it, like a vertical, not vertical, yeah, horizontal shooter, yeah, they kept it as a horizontal shooter the whole game over. So I guess horizontal must have worked well for that. Sometimes, I mean, it's good to switch perspectives sometimes, but sometimes it's better if you just pick a perspective and stick with it. That's what most other games do, but these people were bold and ambitious. I should kind of give them credit for that, being bold and ambitious, not doing what their competitors do, because that's how you really beat your competitors, you know? Just doing what your competitors do is not how you defeat your competitors. You have to go against what they do. You have to do different things from them. That's how you defeat them. So you can see, we beat the boss. And now we're going to engage in the next segment of the first level. It's still the first level, folks. Ah, you see, now the perspective has changed. Now it looks like we're playing a frickin' Star Fox game. And you know, we have scores, you can see. It's kind of hard to see in the screens, but there is a score. The score actually does do something in this game. It doesn't remember your high scores or anything. It's not a game like I don't know what to compare it to really, but it's not like a high score kind of game. It's the kind of game where you get a score and you can actually win lives and the extra lives that help you get through the game just by getting a high score. So yeah, it's important to save up your score to rack up the points, and yeah, it's also a bit circular kind of thing too. If only they made it more like Gyrus sometimes. Yeah, I love Gyrus. Gyrus is another game that I made a few videos of before. You see there's enemies coming out. They probably were our friends once upon a time, but they got taken over by the Philosoma parasite, and now they hate us. They're our mortal enemies. So naturally, you have to do whatever you do when someone gets infected by a parasite known as a Philosoma. You have to kill it, like what we just did there. Oh, that guy crashed into me, but now we can go shoot them all up. This game is intended to have a deep story. It's actually kind of dark for an early PS1, or dark for a game in general. I think this game was intended to have sequels, but I don't think it had any real sequels. The closest thing this game ever had to a sequel was, I forget what it was called. It was like an RPG. It was nothing like this. It was an RPG game starring the main character of this game in the aftermath of this game. And it was an RPG set in that time, and it came on the PS2 in Japan in 2001. It only got released in Japan. Sorry, folks, the rest that live in the rest of the world that's not Japan, you don't get to see the sequel to Philosoma. Not that anyone really cared about a sequel to Philosoma, Come on, since when people are talking about Philosoma? I bet a lot of you that watch this video right now have never even heard of this game before I brought it up. I only know about this game because there was a demo for it on my PS1 PlayStation Pix demo disc from 1995. It wasn't even a playable demo, it was just a video that mostly showed the cinematics game, not so much the actual gameplay itself, trying to make people think, "Whoa, this is PlayStation! Whoa, this has some of the best graphics I've seen! This is better than SNES!" But yeah, the game doesn't actually look like this. The cutscenes look like that, but not the game itself. The game itself is just like an SNES or Sega Genesis game or something like that. Yep. Well played, people at Sony. Well played. Gotta admire them for that. And this was before the N64 came out, too, so they didn't really have much established competition yet. They was just competing with stuff that came out before, like I just said, Genesis and SNES, and so here's a whole red pool there. I don't know what's in that red pool, but we have different weapons too. I was using the most of the time I use the Vulcan cannon. Now I'm using the ray beam. That's right, this weapon I'm using is called the ray beam. It shoots backwards. Oh, how flattered I am. They named a weapon out of me. Ray beam. Never thought they'd name a weapon like that after me, but they did. The ray beam. It's ideal for shooting back at things like this. And we also have missiles, automatic launch missiles, semi-automatic missiles. I'm not even really, again, it's just like in Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, I'm not really controlling much of the ship, I'm not flying it down the canyon, I'm just moving the ship around and just dodging enemies, really, not actually flying it down the canyon. Or if they have more than one pilot in that ship you fly, and those ship things you fly. So now we're back to horizontal shooter, much like in horizontal mode, shooter mode now. Just like in Thunder Force, now it's going to feel more like we're playing like a Thunder Force type game, or R-type. I think this game is better than Thunder Force and R-type, to be honest. Then again, this game came out after a lot of the Thunder Force games, and the Genesis, or the R-type games, things like that. It's kind of funny. There was an R-type game on the Sega Master System, but not on the NES. And there was an R-type game on the SNES, but not Sega Genesis. Kind of strange in that sense. I don't know, I wouldn't pay any money for R-Type, so you can get a ROM of it for free. Emulation's totally becoming the history of gaming. I mean, the future of gaming. History from now, in history, when people recall the time in history when people stopped buying games, instead just went with emulated games, because, you know, why not? But emulation totally is the future of gaming. It definitely is. I'm using an emulator to play this right now. I'm using EPSX 1925 to play this game right now, so... yeah, and I managed to find an ISO image of this Philosoma game on archive.org, and I recommend going to archive.org. You can find all sorts of great ISO images there of all sorts of games and things like that. So if you're looking for an emulator game, check archive.org, and it might be there. I have a strong presence on archive.org. I'm also Ray Phoenix on archive.org. I upload stuff to archive.org all the time. This video is going to be on archive.org eventually. And so will be the raw footage of it and raw other things of it, as well as some other stuff that I've made, some other crap that I bet no one really cares about. So here's the boss, the first boss of the game, game's first real boss. See, it's one of those things that's supposed to deploy our fighters, but it turned evil, so we have to destroy it and completely waste the lives of people that are on that thing. Yep, that's totally what we do. That's totally what our society expects of us. I'm just nailing it with the Vulcan cannon. Again, you're going to be using the Vulcan cannon. Definitely is the best weapon in this game. It's hoping they'll be used more than any other weapon in the game. So they're just going to dispatch more enemies at us. But no enemy could dispatch at us, because they only die in like one hit. Even when the Vulcan cannon is weakly charged. And so, that's the end of the first level of the game. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.
Enemy?